Alright, so I've got some skimming material, and all it is all-purpose joint compound again, just like I did before. And I'm using that as my tight skim material. I just call it a tight skim. And see, I'm bridging over the mud. You can see how far I'm going. Okay? Now, if you needed to, and this is pretty easy because your wall is pretty much flat now already. Okay? If you want, you can go with the 6-inch. I've got a 6-inch. I'm just being careful. See, any imperfection at all, I'm going all the way out. And on that edge, you can push more pressure on here and wipe that off. Or if you see any little edge there when you get all done, that's okay. You shouldn't see much of an edge, but that will go away when you sand, right? Okay? So now I can go sideways like this and bridge it, taking actual mud all the way down further. Just want to be careful to keep this tight edge up here, you know. There. And you'll see, you'll make some little imperfections go away that you might see and you might think, oh, I'm glad I did that. Glad I did that. That blends it in better. You know? And if there's any little imperfection still, hopefully you can do away with that with your sanding. Okay? You want to keep a tight, nice, clean edge. So that's why I keep wiping that off. What happened on that? Get a little bit more mud on there and go over that again. You're not actually trying to put on very much material here at all, okay? All you're doing is making all of the surrounding area smoother. You don't want to build that up. Let me just see if I can get a little bit in here with this plastic knife again. Yeah, it doesn't work very well, but you know, that's what I have to do because I don't have a blade. Putty knife that's 1 inch thick. Most putty knives are about 1.5 inches, and that's why I carry these little plastic ones around, and then I just cut this to make it fit whatever I need, you know. Okay, so I'm just doing the best I can here, and I'll take out any of those imperfections with some sandpaper again, okay. Let's see how much smoother that looks, and I've blended it all in further. Just a dusting of mud. Yeah, it takes a little bit more time, and yes, you've got to let this dry again before you sand. It'll be so much better. Maybe that's the last step you're forgetting to do. And maybe that's why you're seeing your patches when you put a patch on the wall, you know? Because when you put all that effort in, and then if you still see the patch, I don't want you getting negative and disappointed and upset about it. Say, see, I knew I couldn't do it. I spent all this time and I can still see the patch. I'm never doing this again. I'm just going to have somebody else do it. But then on your next patch, it's like, oh man, the next person, he wants $125 to do this patch. I just don't want to do it. And so maybe it goes unpatched. But now, you know, hey, this is what I want you to know. If I can do it, I'm not a professional sheetrock patcher or professional sheetrock finisher or anything like that, but I've taught myself enough, and I've gone through the aggro and the agony of doing a patch and seeing a patch and figuring out how to do a patch differently and better and easier and quicker and all that kind of stuff. And so these videos are for the benefit of you, because I want you. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. I want you to be a better sheetrock patcher, so that when you get done, you'll think, oh, I guess I can do it. And if you can do that, you can paint your project. If you can do that, you can do the electrical stuff that I show you. If you can do that, maybe you can do some of the plumbing stuff that I show you. If you can do that, maybe there's some other things that I'm showing. Hey, my motto is, if I can do it, you can do it. And I won't show you anything I don't think you can do. Okay? That's what these videos are all about. Now this tight skim material, how long does this take to dry? Doesn't take very long, because you haven't put very much on the surface of this wall. Okay? But you still want to make sure this is all 100% dry before you start sanding it. Last thing you want to do is start running your sander, your paddle sander on here, or hand sandpaper, whatever, before this is 100% dry. So if you got any questions, wait on it a little bit longer.